Good afternoon, welcome back to Sun State Metal Detecting. We're back down at the beach where last time we found 3 awesome silver coins. I've done a little bit of digging on this particular location and have found that there's actually a substantial amount of history just in this location, hence why we found a few historic items. There's a very high chance that we've missed a lot more items down on the beach, maybe some coins, maybe some more industrial finds, maybe something else. As it turns out, there was actually a sawmill somewhere in this vicinity, most likely under the houses behind me. Obviously some of these historic items have found their way down to the sand, and now they're out there for us to go and find. So let's go and grab the equipment, take off down the beach, and we'll see what we can find this time around. We might have our first coin. Very nice 10, very solid 10, not too deep. It is a coin, be 5 cents. And yes, that's our first coin. That's a rather crusty 5 cent piece. Lovely. I've just picked up, just on the very edge of what my Equinox 800 can pick up, there is either a very small target or a very deep target that is possibly okay. Let's dig down and find out. There is something down here. Well, that is an old copper square nail. Yep, hand-forged copper square nail. And as usual, it's always the tones you don't think are going to be interesting that sometimes turn out to be the most interesting. This was just a lovely little 11, pretty solid 11. And we have an old button. It's got, looks like it's a 4-pin or four holes in the back in the shank. And it does have writing on it. That's awesome, because that means we're going to be able to go home and actually look up what this writing is and find out where this button came from. We'll report in on this one later. Sounds pretty shallow to me. Not moving off a 10. I'm going to call it 10 cents. No, not 10 cents. What am I talking about? 5 cents. My goodness. Maybe not. Unless it's particularly crusty. Oh, what do you know? Yep, it was. That is another crusty 5 cents. Hooray! Another one of these jumpy tones. Seems to be roughly centered around a 10. Yeah, I'd agree with that, 10. Let's just hope it's a 10 out of 10 find. Oh, what do we have here? That is a drop bullet. Oh wow, yeah, it is actually a fully dropped bullet. Small caliber round. Not sure exactly what round that's going to be, but we've still got a bullet there. Yep, it's complete. Unfired. Dropped ammunition. Oh, something different. Looks like it was a 10 out of 10 find. What do you know? Still high up on the beach. Pretty stable 18. Right behind some tree trunks that have obviously slipped down the slope at some point. a coin. And that is a ultra crusty 50 cents. There's another tone right next to it. I'm going to say it's 10 cents. It is a coin. Yep, 10 cents. There's another signal in the hole. This one's floating around a 10, so it might be 5 cents, but if that's the case, then we officially have ourselves a coin spill. All right, back into it. Oh, these roots are making it awkward. Okay, we are definitely up and out of the hole here. It's another coin. All right, that's 3 in the same hole. That's a spill. Crusty, crusty 5 cents. Well, there was nothing more to that last coin spill. It was just the 3. And we've just reached the limit of where we got to in our last video. So we're now moving on to new territory. And this is actually the log that I used as a marker. So I knew where I stopped last time, and sure enough, right under the end of the log, okay, we are out, and 10 cents. Right, back up high on the beach, and got another one of these real sketchy sort of signals, except this one is ringing up occasionally really high. 28, 23, 31. There is iron tones in there with it. So it could just be a big old chunk of rusty nothing. But I'm willing to give it a go. Right up the top here somewhere. Guess what, guys? We're back on the silver. Ha 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 ha. Yep, yes sirree. That is another 925 threepence. Just looking at the date, it is a 1927 threepence. Actually, this one's in remarkably better condition than the others. Yep, King George on the back. Wonderful. This one is as crisp as they come. Really nice. Yeah. Could be a lot of different things. Don't want to get my hopes up too much. Just down here. Somewhere. It's a coin. And it is $1. Straight to the retirement fund. Here's something you don't see often. And 2 lovely tones, and I don't even have to dig for them. We have a 10 cent freshly dropped right on the surface, and $1 freshly dropped right on the surface. Alrighty-o. And just a little 10 signal up on one of the paths, and we have another crusty 5 cent. We've got just a nice solid 13, very solid 13. If I was a betting man, I'm gonna bet my money that this is money, specifically 10 cents of money. Let's see. There it is, just over this way. And yeah, looks like my bet came off. It's 10 cents. Again, really crusty. Certainly a lot of really crusty coins down here. First signal as I've started walking back. Pretty average sort of sounding 10. And it's a 5 cent piece. Actually not nearly as toasted as the last one's. Nice patina. But yeah, 5 cents. And we've got a cracker of a signal here. Absolute doozy of a signal. Wow. I see a dog tag. Well, that's a neat little design. Little doggy skull and crossbones. Can't see any details on the back, it's been down a while. But hey, that's a neat little find.